Hello and welcome to another Nikomedias tutorial. Today we will make some sand. I got many questions about how I did this picture here. This is from my portfolio and it's an older picture. This is a long time ago that I did this, and yeah, that's not really the only thing. What you need here is a texture, and you can download this texture from my website. Or if you finish this tutorial, you have the project file of this tutorial in the description. So when you download the project file, you will have the textures too. But you can go on my website here, and under downloads textures, you will find this one, and you will see a link for Patreons. That's very important. Because I have some ideas what I do with my Patreons. At the moment they are just 3, but thank you, you 3. And there will come some special exclusive tutorials or exclusive downloads or something, some giveaways or something else. And yeah. But with the tutorials and with something else, I start when I see that it works with the Patreons. But of course I like this helmet. I gave this helmet free for download only for Patreons and something else. So okay, so when you download these textures, you get these 5 pictures here, and this is what we need. And yeah, you see 1547 downloads and not one donation from this side, and this is sometimes a little bit disappointing, but it's another story. But this is the reason I started with the Patreon. Let's see if this works better, because I spend a lot of time for doing tutorials and everything, and yeah, maybe yeah, you will see how it's continue. One is for sure, that is this 1 or 2 hour tutorials. I continue with this for free, and I will try to make at least 1 tutorial a week, and so this one stops. So that is, don't worry. Okay, and yes, so let's start. Chatted enough, and let's go to cinema. And here I start with something. And something in this case means a plane. Let's go to a plane. Normally I want to start with a disk, but here it's easier with the segments. And I want more segments here, so 100 by 100 maybe is okay. And yeah, and here is the first tip for this tutorial. If you want to make the same number in more fields here, just select with the shift on your keyboard, select what you want, and then I want 100 by 100 here. I type in 100, and now I hold my control key on my keyboard and hit enter. And you see everything what is selected becomes the same, gets the same number. So this is okay for the moment. We need this for the. I want some crater here. So not as in my picture here. You see, this is quite flat. I did something with a little bit with the magnet tool, but not. But I want a little crater around the. Spheres, because when they impact, so they should make some crater, and this we do with the collision deformer. And yeah, I tried some ways, and with the collision deformer it's the easiest way, not the best way for the result. But if we put an displacement over this crater later, over this collision deformer, it doesn't matter. But there are better ways to do some craters, and I will show you this in one of my next tutorials. And then we do this with a very nice way. We do some dented sphere or something else, but like they do it in Houdini, but just here in Cinema 4D. And yeah, will be an interesting one, believe me. So yeah, next thing I need is a sphere. Let's say 50 here. Not here. Size 50 is enough. And now go to the plane, and shift click on collision. Boing. And in the collision deformer we drag our sphere inside and we get something like this. Nice, but doesn't look like a crater. I want here such a lip. For this we go to object, and in the fall off I want the distance. And here with the spline I can play around. So as here I can do something. And here I want to make something like this. Here to null. With control click on the spline here and drag this up. You see we get something that looks, oopsie. This to 1 here. Drag this to this side. Drag this to this side. Now we get something like a crater here. Okay, I'm happy with this one. If we want it smoother, we just give the plane more segments. But for this, we don't really need it, because as I said, we put a displacement over it, so we won't see it really. So it should, but we can change everything later on, so we have no problems. Maybe let it be for now. And I want a second sphere, so I go to my sphere here, control drag it down, and have a second one. And drag this to somewhere like, let's see here, make it a little smaller, T for scale, so like this, and go to the collision, and we on the colliders we put this sphere too, and we get this. Nice. Now I drag these two spheres here. With E on the keyboard, select these two spheres and let's drag it in the middle here somewhere. This, so here maybe. And then we try to find a nice spot here for the camera. Let's say something like this. Something like this, yes. Maybe something like this. I make the plane a little bigger, I think. Make it 1000 by 1000. Let's try it. So here I can do the same. I select both here, 1000, and control enter, and oopsie. Of course, now we lost some of our segments, but no, 1000 is too 500 is enough here. Okay. Yeah, that should be okay. Give it 150 here. Now we can go down a little bit with this here. So something like that. Okay. And now we start to texture this thing. No, first I don't want to see here a background. So what I do now, I want to drag some points up here from the plane, but I don't want to convert my plane here, because I want to be able to I can later on change the segments here. And what I do for this is, there is a very nice deformer, and this is the correction deformer. So I select my plane and shift click on the correction deformer. What the correction deformer does, it makes more or less an it converts our plane more or less. So if we would like we would press keyboard. So if I take my correction deformer here, if I select it and go in point mode, you will see now we have points and what we can select, but we didn't convert our plane. So, and what we can do now is we can play a little with the magnitude. First I want to set it this where I want it. Let's say something like this. Yeah, something like this. And make a camera and protection text. So, and I save this guy as creator spheres, whatever. Yeah, it's okay. Creator spheres. It's important that it's saved. Name doesn't matter. So now I go to my correction deformer and then MI for the magnet tool. It's a little big, so I changed it. With the middle mouse button on your mouse, just hold it and drag left or right, and so you can change the size of the brush. And drag just some. Come on. Let's see what we can do. Deactivate the collision deformer for the moment, so it works better, works faster. Make some hills or something else. Does not really matter how this looks, because we will work later on with the depth of field, so we won't see this so good. Oopsie. Boing, boing. Okay. We can make here some hills too, or some. That it doesn't look so boring. Okay, something like that. Okay, and now let's activate again our collision, our correction deformer. So now we have a nice thing here. Camera is okay, and now we can start to texture this guy. Save it. So I double click in the material manager, double click on my material and send. Okay, so I downloaded my materials from my site. Then we will get these 5 pictures here. One is for the color, one is for the AO, Ambient Occlusion, one is for the displacement, one is for the normal map, and one is for the specularity, for the reflection. And you will see how we use it. First, color, I think it's clear. Click on it and take the color channel. Okay, and I drag it on my. So what I want to do, I want another projection here, projection. So because with the UV projection, you see here where we played with the magnet tool, we stretched some polygons, and we will see this here. So what I do is I go to my texture tag and go to cubic mapping, and it looks much better. And let's go right click and fit to object. Yes, why not? And make the whole thing a little smaller. Let's see, 50-50. Looks good so far. Okay. Then of course we need displacement. Boing. Let's take the disp map. And I want some subpolygon displacement, but for the beginning just 2. And when we start to render, then we can go up with this. But let's see what we get now. It looks almost okay. Yes, I have some problems with my interactive render here. I don't know why. I don't know. Since yesterday, you see, when I render here, I lose my collision deformer. I lose my craters here. Don't know why. If I render this in the normal render, so Control Shift R, I have here these craters. Everything is here, but not in the interactive render. But what I see here is that the craters maybe are not big enough, not high enough. And the stones. This displacement is a little too high, I think. Yes, stop it. So make here, let's go to maybe 4 and then go to the collision deformer and make this a little higher. So something like that. But maybe it's not a bad idea to render it like this, because so we have we can compare better what we had before, no? So yeah, that looks better. It's not a bad idea that we render it like this. So at the moment it doesn't look very nice because we don't have any reflections, we don't have any light or something else, we don't have nothing on it. So this is just the first way, first point, first thing, whatever. But maybe the spheres are too far in the sand. Let's make this render to fixed, so it stops. This is good because when I forget that the render runs in the background, so with the progressive render, it runs and renders, it defines until you stop it. So and with the fixed, it goes once and okay. So now let's make some light or something else. You could do this just with an let's say a physical sky, and here let's use GI and render this now. It should look a little better. Looks not a little better, it looks almost much better. See, it looks I'm still on progressive. Why am I on progressive? Why low GI? Here I go to fixed 2. This one. Let's see what we get with this fixed. Yes, this quality is totally enough for comparison. This is nice, this is nice, this is nice. Amazing tutorial, thank you. And now, but maybe they really a little too far inside. So, and the smaller one, okay, this can be. Yeah, that's better, much better. Okay, looks now nice. We are long not ready, but okay. But I don't like this camera. They are too far behind. So, well, where comes this? Let's go. The protection tag, go away with it for the moment and make some changes here. Okay, protection deck back and correction deformer, and play again a little with the MI magnet tool. Drag them up here. Okay. Good so far. Let's see what we have now. Oops, first integration. Yeah, now the spheres are more in the center. That's better. Okay, and here we have some stretched anyway, but okay, let's make one thing. We change this mesh, so let's go again to our texture deck and fit to object 50-50. So okay, no. I don't want to make it with a physical sky, I want to make it, of course, with my Nikomedias Scene Rig and put in a nice HDRI, and I'm sure it looks better than. So I take invite, and for any reason it activates the Reflectance channel. I have to see why, but this doesn't matter. I need the Reflectance channel anyway, so I go to my Reflectance channel here and layer, noise, dielectric, and asphalt is here best, I think, and give it about 20. Nice. So for the reflectance here, we have here a very small arrow, and look it up, and we have a texture for this. This is the specularity texture. Yep. Nope, but I don't need it. So, and now we can go with the reflection strength up to 100%, and everything. The picture does everything for us, so we don't have to care about the reflection. This is nice. So, and the next thing is we can deactivate in the render the ambient occlusion, because we have a picture for this, a map for this. So we go to the diffusion, and we have here an AO map. You see, whoops, it was a little darker, and this the AO. And we have a normal map too. Let's bring in the normal map. But I think we don't need it because it's then a little too much detail, I think. Let's see what we get now. Look at this, it looks much better now with the HDR. We don't have the HDR, but with the scene rig. So we have a HDR, but we have a normal studio HDR here, and it looks good. And now let's see without the normal map, because I think we don't need a really normal map here. Normally I use it because you get much more detail on anything, but here it looks almost too sharp with the normal map. That's a good idea to render it like this, so we can really nice compare. Oh, no, it looks better with the normal. Let's put a little normal map, not all the way up to 100%. Let's make 50%. That's okay. Like it, and save it. So this is the everything for the sand texture. So we have color, the color map here. Then in the diffusion we have the AO map for the ambient occlusion. The reflectance we have here under reflectance or specular map. Under normal we have our normal map, and under displacement we have our displacement map. And before we render, we make a final render, we can go here up to 3, 4, however you want to see it in your result. But I think here we have quite high, more than 4 you want needs, I think. What do I see here? I see here a floor. Why? We don't need anything here. So okay, and now I want another HDR. So I deactivate everything here for. Let's see how fast this render with the. This is okay. But I lose my craters here, but don't need it now. Shift F8 for the content browser, and here I have some HDRs, and they are from this SIBL loader here. And yeah, you will find every link you need. You will find everything in the description. So yes. And because people ask me how this folder with my textures and where they find it, they are my private things. So you won't find them. They are my private things. And yes, I work on a texture library, but I have to do really a lot to do at the moment, and I want to finish my scene rig for Octane, and in the Octane it's by far not so easy. We were like in the normal scene rig I did. It's the same thing, but it doesn't work the same. I don't know why. So okay, doesn't matter. So I need here an HDR, and then let's see. which one. I think I like this one with the sun here and with the beach, and beach should be good here. Beach and beach should fit. Let's see what we get. Ta-da. Oh yes. Oh yes. Let's make some glass for the spheres here. Double click, double click. No, not here, double click. Oh, it opens on the other monitor here. Come on. Where it is now? Come in. God, this is so funny. And with on the 4K monitor, and the resolution is set to 1080p. It's fun. Okay. Glass material. Glass. So even Nico remembers. No color, I said glass. 1.517 is for glass here. And I make it, even this is more fantasy picture, so normally I disable the exit reflection, but here I enable everything, so I want really much reflection. Then I want here some color. Let's mix some teal color here, something like that. And here we go down to 1. So the reflectance, so here in the layer, and this will be too much here. Let's make a Fresnel here, dielectric and glass. That doesn't change much. You see, if I deactivate the layer and activate, but a little, it changes a little. And if I want more reflection, I just go down here with the strength of the Fresnel, and I get even more reflections. So, but this should work for the moment. Let's see what we get. Put the glass on this sphere and on this sphere, and I don't want the magnet tool here. So, and I think we will give the spheres a little thickness, but let's see what we get. Nice, nice. It's green, the tea, but but it looks great. Looks like we had crystals inside here because of the reflection. And look, this nice caustic size. I think this, yeah, great, really nice. But I want we have an HDR with the sun. So let's see that we have the sun here in the reflections. So let's go to the scene rig. Enable the preview. Bop, hello preview. Hello Nico. And rotate it a little bit. Where is the sun? Here we have sun. So the sun is now here in the left front. And this shouldn't, we should see this. And the sun is in exactly here where I want it. Good. Okay. Yeah, it looks nice. But now I try to make it with little thickness here. Here we have still some stretched stones, but as I said, we will have then depth of field, and we won't see this so much. And something like this we can easily refine in Photoshop. So we can take something as parts of this part here and put it on here, and so that's not so our problem. And what we do now, not now, a little later, I want to put in some real stones in this picture. So we clone some stones all over. So the eyes see in the first gaze is on the real stones and not on the displacements. And yeah, now let's make some thickness for the glass. Let's make a simulate glass surface. Whoops, one here and one here. No subdivisions, and -1 thickness should be enough. And put this sphere in this one and put this sphere in this one. Let's see the difference. I think I can go down here, fixed to 0.5, so we see faster results. Okay, so far I like it with thickness, yes, but I want it darker. So go to glass, and to make it darker, I go down with the transparency to, let's say, I don't want it totally transparent, so I go to 85, and here I go down to, let's say, 0.2 or something else, and render it again. Yeah, now it renders faster with the 0.5 in the fixed render settings. Okay, and what I want now is I want some. Let's make the stones here. Then let's clone the stones, and then we continue with the sphere. We make then some like frosted glass or something else. Okay, let's clone something. And the very nice thing with the correction deformer here is you can select polygons, and you can make a selection, take everything like in a real, if you would have converted the plane, and that's a great thing. So deactivate the collision for the moment, go to the correction deformer, polygon mode, and go here in the up view, and now with the middle mouse button on the mouse and drag left and right, you can change the size of the brush. And brush just there where you want some stones. So I want it here where the camera is, so that something like this. Okay, we don't need it all over the thing, but it's not so big, this plane. So normally we could make it along the whole plane, but let's see. This is enough. This should be enough, because here in the back side, as I said, we get depth of field. If we need more later on, we can still paint in more. And now with the correction, as I said, we can, with correction we can take set selection, and we have a selection tag here. If I don't have it in the toolbar, go to selection and set selection here. Okay, and now we save. Okay, yes, I save it. And now let's make some stones. For this I make a new file, because it's easier in a new file to make something. And take a platonic with one segment, and I want to make 3 stones. Of course, when you make more different stones, you will get a better result, but for the tutorial, I think 3 will be enough, because with the random effector later on and something else, it's okay. So let's start with the first one. C on the keyboard to make it editable, point mode, and MU for point value. Here set point value, and I go to crumble. Let's say 50, and crumble this, and I get something like this. Okay, yeah, I take this, and now I want to, no, I go back first. I go back once, so before I converted it so to the first step, and I want just to T for scale, just to scale it a little. Oopsie. No, first I make it editable, and now I scale it. Oh, something like this. And now I go in the point mode, crumble it with MU, apply. Okay, this is better. And now I go in the polygon mode, right click and subdivide, but go here to the small cogwheel, and I want 2 subdivisions, and I want it smooth. That's important. And when I hit OK, I get something like this. Okay, this is a little, but here I can go MI for the iron tool, no, MG for the iron tool, and make it a little smoother here. So, okay, stone number 1. Go to the second one. C for convert, then T for scale. Scale it a little again, make this a little smaller, flatter. Okay, point mode. MU for the point value. Sorry, apply, and let's play a little with the seed so we don't get every time the same. Oh, this looks interesting. And now polygon mode, right click and subdivide. Now we don't have to set up because it remembers the last setting. So this is looks like that is a car or doesn't matter. But in MG, so stone number 2, and last one, C on the keyboard, T for scale, scale it, scale the correct one. C, I didn't see it. Now C and scale. Then don't scale it so far. Make it something like this, a little smaller. Point mode, MU. Apply, seed, something like, oh, this is nice. Polygon mode, right click and subdivide. Okay, last stone. Now I take all 3 and Alt G, put it in the group and name it stones. What a surprise. Okay. No, this one is too long here. This one is T for scale. So okay. Now I select the stones here, the null object, then Control C on the keyboard to copy it, go in the other scene and Control V. And we see it's a little too big. So I select my stones here, my null object, T for scale in the object mode, T for scale, and scale it down till I say this could work. Yeah, something like this. Okay. Now I activate my craters. Now I need a cloner. MoGraph cloner. Put it here in the stones and put these 3 stones in the cloner. And I want to clone them on this selection tag. So go to my cloner, object, and here under object I just drag the selection tag in. And you see, we have something here. But it stands up here, and so go to in the cloner to transform, and here -90 should be okay. Yep. And now we need more of them. Let's say how, let's say 500. Maybe we will see later. And now we need a random effector, of course. Select the cloner, go to MoGraph, Effector, and Random Effector. The reason I selected the cloner before is if you have the cloner selected, the effector comes automatically here in the effector step. If you don't have it in here, just drag the random deformer in here. So that's all. And what do I want to affect? I don't want the position. I want the rotation. Let's say here something, zips. What here something, zip. And some little bit here, so not much here, little bit. Okay. And scale. A uniform scale, absolute. It was about -0.7 should be work here. Yes, I think this is okay. We have nice. The stones can be bigger. And this is the next problem what I have with my interactive render. If I interactive render it now, I don't see my clones. And I don't know why. Everything worked until yesterday. But if I render it normal, ta-da! Look what I have here. I have all clones here. And they are nice distributed, and they have the nice. Oh, that looks good. That looks very good. And so it's something like these stones you see first. You don't look then if this could be an displacement map. You see these stones and you see, oh, they are okay. And what we do now, I want maybe some more stones. So go in the cloner and make here render instances. So we have we don't need so much power for the. Try it with 700 or 1000. 1000 will be too much, I think. Or too many. Let's see how this looks. Doesn't matter if they intersect a little bit. Oh, 1000 is okay because some of them go under the displacement or something else, and that's okay. But I wonder why we don't have any of them on the crater here. Let's see. Yeah, they are not here. So let's go to the cloner and play with the seed here. And let's see that we get some on the crater. It looks like that. It looks like that the crater is not selected or something else. Just make the double click the selection tag. Yeah, the cloner is not selected like it looks. Why is this? Make the correction deformer after the collision deformer. And now we have it. So let's go to the cloner. And now we have some on the. I was happy with this 1000 here, so yeah. Let's see how it looks now. Huh? Hey clones, where are you? Come on. Wait. Let's try it without render instances, maybe it works then. Nope. It's unbelievable. Hey. I think something is wrong with my cinema. I have to install it new for sure. is it? Come on. When I go like this. They are here. That's not possible. And this is let's see if I can no, this is not possible. I knew it. Because when I deactivate the collision, everything is okay. And this would be okay too, but then I don't, oopsie. But then I don't see the cloner. It's unbelievable. Yeah, this is wrong. I'm sure when you do this, everything works. But doesn't matter. This is not such a problem. I want to finish this tutorial anyways. So yeah, okay. I don't have stones on the crater. Doesn't matter. And it is annoying, but it is now like this. It's okay. What else? Let's say it's okay. I can do one. This should work. I make the crater. I don't need it. What I can do is I say to this whole thing here, I make it editable. So can you go here? I have it here, current state to object, or right click and current state to object, and let's see what we get then. What's this under here? That is okay. Let's deactivate here everything. This selection tag I put here. Let's see if this works. Yeah, this works. And now if I go to the cloner and give this selection tag in the cloner, and let's see if I see now anything. Now I have my stones everywhere. Okay, I think you don't have to do this step when I did now, but it's now for us to see what we get. And it looks really nice. I like it really. Okay, let's color these stones, of course. So I do this with the variation shader. If you don't have the variation shader, if you have an earlier version of Cinema, you just make 3 materials and give every stone 1 material. But with the variation shader we get more variation. So make a new color. That's stones. Boing. And effects, variation, and put this on our cloner. So what we should get now is, do I see it now here? Yeah, now I see it in the interactive render. I don't see the crater, but I see the stones. Okay, that's at least a little bit. Okay, but I don't want these colors, of course, but you see it works. We have different colors on the stones. I want stony colors. So I go to this gradient, open here this small arrow, and here we have load preset, and let's see if we get something like stone colors here. maybe this one, or not this one with little blue. Why not? Bluish colors, that doesn't look, bluish stones, that doesn't look so bad. Let's take this one. And I don't want, I want smooth knots, so I want this here. And we don't see any difference here, because we have to do here something. First, what we have to do is random color mode from normal to replace. So that changes nothing here. It's nothing, but we have very contrasty stones. Looks nice. If it was nice in my last picture I did one on the donut day. So then what we have to do now is the random color to 0 and the gradient blend now to 100. So now we have just the colors from the gradient. You see, we have to, and they are a little too contrasty for me now, but not really. They are okay. Maybe if they are too contrasty for you, go just with the blend down. Then you will see you get less contrast. Looks maybe a little better, but. And of course I want, in this shader, I want Reflectance too. So go to Reflectance and make with again dielectric, asphalt, and something like this. Okay. Render this and let's see what we get. Looks great. Okay. The next thing is now we will play again with the spheres here. I do not really want this green here, but it doesn't look bad. But let's see if another color is a better choice. I said color. You have to be so careful here. Of course, I cannot go up with the absorption distance. Yeah, this is a color I like. Yes, this is a color I like. Okay, and now let's try to get some frosty glass. So I go to the reflectance channel here and the transparency, and here under roughness I go to 100%. You see, we get a very rough glass. But I don't want it just roughness. I go to the texture and make a noise. You see, we get a noise in here. And here I want, let's say, blister turbulence with a lot of contrast, and a scale of 200 should be nice here. Okay, we don't see it really in the render, but it is here. Let's test if you see it. So go to cell noise and then not really, but we will tackle this. So here in the preview we see it works. Let's bring out this, and you see here it works definitely. But go to the layer here and make the same noise. So I go to the roughness channel, go up to 100, make the same noise. I could have copied the other one, but it's not really a hard work here. So 200 and this. Okay, now we start to see some boxes here. Come on, define a little bit. Yeah, okay. And yeah, but we don't not want it same noise. We want a blistered turbulence, and here we want this blistered turbulence too. Okay, looks nice. And so that we can really see it, let's see how it looks in the render here. I'll make it a render. Let's make it fixed. Whoopty, low GI, physical item, fixed at 1. So we have a little time, so why not? Okay, this where we see this white fireflies here. This is our roughness. This will be better, of course, when we render. It's a higher setting, but it's here. And now, what I want to make it even more, I take this texture here, this noise, copy it, and copy in the bump channel. Paste, and you will see here there is something, and now render it. Let's see what we get now. I think I will make an higher render, so this is basically better. But we definitely, yeah, here we see it very nice. Maybe make it a little smaller, the bump, not to 200, let's make it 200. Not to 200, make it 200. Great. 100. 100. And again 100. If I would have to do this more often with the changing the values, I would make a small expressor script and then change everything together. But I don't think we need it here often. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe a little too much bump, but here it looks great. That looks nice. Yeah, that's good. I make a short break and make it a little better render, and I make the noise to 150, not 200. So I'm back in a second for you. So I'm back, and look what we got. They look great, but a little too rough. So I go back with the roughness a little bit, and now we start to give this whole thing a little depth of field. And yeah, let's see if we find a better HDRI to do light. But I want the sun in the spheres. That's for sure. And here it looks great with the cleared parts and with the rough parts. So let's continue. So the first what I want is go in the reflectance channel and make here, and just go to the roughness here to maybe 50. And do the same here and go to roughness 50. So we don't have really just rough parts. So the roughest part will be 50% roughness. So, and yeah, and now make save this and make some depth of field. Let's go here to load GIS so that you can see it then. And when I use depth of field, I do it normally with a focus null. This is for me the easiest way. You can go to your camera. Let's see, so put the camera up here. You can go to your camera and pick a focus. So focus distance, you can go to this arrow here and say, okay, I want the focus here or here. Let's say on this stone here. And whoops. Did this say no? This said normally it was not okay. So random. So why random? No, it should not focus object. Here to focus distance. Normally, when you don't have an object, go to focus distance, and let's say this stone, bong, and you see the focus distance is now 250 centimeter. This works. There's no problem. But if I want to make it change it more often, of course you can every time to go and click on it, but I prefer the way with the null. I make a null and name it focus so I know what it is, and just drag this focus null here in the camera object, and now it's everywhere where the null is the focus object. So what I can do here is display, make it whatever, and don't know, octagon, something else with, so I don't see it here. 50. It doesn't matter. I don't need to see it. So here is my null, and move tool, and I move it where I want. So I want the focus somewhere like here. Okay. And maybe a little up here, so okay, this is my focus point. And now in the camera I want let's try it with 1 in the f-stop. And what is important, you have to go to the settings, to the render settings, and when you want depth of field you have to go to the physical and activate depth of field. That's important. So, and now let's see what we get. That needs a little preparation. I went. Now I waited it a little bit. I think it's too much depth of field, but let's see. It is green. It is. It's great. And now it's not so rough, and it looks much better for me. This is a little too much depth of field, I think. But it has a very nice tilt shift effect. Maybe it's nice. So with the f-stop 1.5 and we should be okay. The spheres look great. It looks good. But let's say 1.5 here. And the f-stop. As bigger the number is, less depth of field you get. So, and as smaller, as more you get, of course. So save this. And what I want to make now is go here to progressive. I want to change the light a little bit. Let's see, disable the spheres for the moment because they need long render time, and this should be okay. And I deactivate displacement for the moment, so we should get a quite quick result. Let's see. Yeah, we get a very fast result. And now Shift F8 for the oopsie. And let's try something, but I want something with the sun. Let's try this one. Oh, that's too much. Or I stay with this one and rotate it a little bit. Rotate, not like this, rotate vertically. I want preview, okay, that's okay. So we should still see the sun in the spheres. How long does it need to render with the displacement? So we get some shadows. Or maybe the sun from the other side. Or maybe no sun. It looks, I think it looks better if the sun comes not from. Yeah, just let's try it. So we have time. I have time. So why not try? Why not try? Nice. So make a quick render here. Yeah, we have the sun still in the spheres, and with this angle of the sun we see wonderful the green. And this is my preferred thing. Okay, and now I go up here with the displacement, not up, but just with the subdivision level up, and we will see how long this renders. This can take some time to render, but take the time, so it is worth it, I think. Yeah, and you see now in the background we have no stretched stones because we made the subdivision higher. I want the stones more shiny. Why not? Yeah, this is very nice. It's much better than the picture I have on my website. I should change the picture on the website. I love this screen here. This is great. Yeah, that's it. Nothing more to do, I think. Only thing, and with the 1.5 with depth of field, this is very nice. It's not too much, it's not too less, it's totally okay. Yeah, I think I make a nice render and be back with a nice render. This could take some minutes, even longer, but doesn't matter. For you it's just a second. So I'm back in a second. And then we go to Photoshop a little bit, try to enhance this whole thing here, and yeah, okay, see you in a second. So after the third render I am back and I think we have a very nice result here. And yeah, the first render I did was this one, and I have seen now that the stones, these big stones are much too shiny, and I had here unnecessary high render settings. You see I was here and I stopped at 17 minutes, and this last render is with 4 minutes. Then I came out with this one, and here I did what I say. This is so important, don't forget it, to check the depth of field in the render settings. Here of course I forgot it, and so I had to render again, and then we came out with this, and we think we can really be satisfied. Maybe when I see this one without depth of field and this with depth of field, I think we can go down a little bit with depth of field. This is the only thing, but not much. And you see, here I have quite low render settings just for the time. And but this always see here, this some fireflies and something else. This we can easily get rid of in Photoshop. So, but I think I will make now another render. For you it's another second, and let's try to get rid of some. So then when you get this project file, that I want you that you have a nice render settings to the project file. So I test some render settings, and then I am back, and then we go to Photoshop. So as I said, for you it's in a second. For me it's maybe, I think, to 20 minutes or something else, so maybe a beer in between. Okay, so let's see you later. So now I'm back after a beer and 40 minutes render time. Yeah, I forgot one thing, and this was here in the render settings, on our high settings, I have the blurriness subdivision to 3. Here would be enough too, and then it goes faster. So I think I go then to about 25 minutes or something else. But the result is it worth, I think. This was before, and this is okay because these fireflies, these highlights, we can do it. We don't get rid of it totally, I think, but we can do it this much better. A little Photoshop, and this will be much better. And here, of course, this is much better. And you see here the caustics, and now here it's everything exactly how it should be. So I love this. This is a very, very nice. And I for the physical render is the 40 minutes. This is totally okay for it. We have the blurry reflections, we have blurry glass, we have everything blurry, and GI and everything, and depth of field and everything. So that's okay. And yes, and the next thing what I did, I gone from 1.5 to 1.7 with the depth of field, and now it's exactly how I like it. Okay, I saved this, of course, and now I let's see what can I do in Photoshop. So I copy this, go to Photoshop, new file, 16-bit from clipboard, create, Control V, and we are here. Make a smart object out of it, and Control Shift A for the camera raw filter. Got it 100%, and let's see what we can do. Go up with the clarity, but don't need really the clarity here. Normally I use it everywhere, but maybe just a little bit. Okay, I think we have more fun in the Nik filter with this. So Control Shift, make another smart object out of it. So right click smart object, and now filter Nik collection. And color FX power, and let's see what we can do here. We have here the gradient natural density. This normally I use every time, but I don't think I need it here. We have it dark. I let it here, but maybe I want to use it later, but I make another filter and go to my favorites and try the detail extractor. No, this is nothing. We need almost nothing with this picture. This picture is great how it is. No, I don't need the detail extractor, but I override it with something else. Let's try the color. Okay, no. 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 As I said, we almost need nothing here. Let's try with the Pro contrast. Little up, and yes, okay, another filter. Let's see what we have here. Well, let's go through the filters so we see what we want. Just with the arrow keys I go down. This classically soft focus is something like a little bloom. You see? This is not so bad. We have here different blooms. And the first one is... Let's see the second one. I let it here. I don't use it now, but I let it in. So next filter. Color stylizer. This with the star, with the yellow star, they are my favorites, so that I tried them already. Duplex is nothing. That's no. Flash sometimes, but here does nothing. No. The high key, nope. Indian summer. Don't see nothing here. No. This is already very nice from out of the render. Oh, that looks nice. It's not bad. Second one, maybe. I keep it for the moment, but don't activate it. Reflector effects I don't need here, but it makes a good job, but I don't need it here. So I override it with other things. Skylight maybe. Skylight is good, yeah, skylight is nice. Then the sunlight. No, that's too much. No, that's okay. And now let's see, is the photo stylizer. Okay, I don't need it. The classical sort. Yeah, a little bloom is not bad. I like this bloom. And the gradient filter, yes, I think that looks great. Yeah, wow. Much better than this one on my website, as I said. Make another smart object and go again to the camera raw filter. And let's see what we can do here. But I think it's ready. This picture is done. Yeah, a little clearness, a little clarity here, and maybe a little vignette. Yeah. And exposure. I think now we have it. That's great. Very nice depth of field here in front and back. Very nice caustics here and everything. I love it. I really love it. Okay, that's it. I hope you liked this tutorial. And yeah, you will find every link in the description you need. And you will find there as well a donation link and the link to the Nikomedias Scene Rig. Then you will find the link to the project file. You will find the link to my website. You will find the link to my Facebook site. You will find the link to my Patreon site. And yes, I hope to see you in the next tutorial. yes, this is one. During I made this tutorial here, and I got a question during if I can show something about. I get more questions about Octane, and so I think I will try to make an Octane version of this. Of course, this is everything the same, so that the modeling is exactly the same. And yeah, I could clone these stones with the scatter object from Octane, but no. And Octane has not this variation shader, but we have a random color in Octane, and so I will make a tutorial for how to texture this in Octane, and I'm looking forward to the result. I hope I can do it tomorrow. Here it's now 10:30 p.m. So today I stop here, I think. Maybe I drink a beer, another one, and then yeah, see you hopefully in the next tutorial. And yeah, if you have questions, just ask me. You can ask me in the comments. You can ask me on my website, Facebook, everywhere you want. If you have suggestions or wishes for tutorials, tell me please. And yeah, that's it for now. Okay, so I say have a nice evening or whatever, wherever you are, or have a nice evening. I'm sure it doesn't matter where you are, you will have an evening somewhere. Okay, so hopefully see you in the next tutorial. So I say, you know it, tschüss und baba.